to make sure it's all set. I wanted to say thank you for those of you that took the time to respond. I am trying to, I had put in the email, like, what are you working on or what do you want to do in this school year? And some of you responded with, somebody put down portraits and they're getting really good at it. And so they're wanting to paint from life. So I was just really encouraged by that. Somebody said going outside because it was a little bit scary for them to be painting outside. And I can totally understand that, especially trying to figure out what tools to carry with you. But I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I've been a teacher for like the past, or was a elementary teacher for almost 10 years. And I guess because I have the two boys, my mind always goes to starting my school year or my learning year in September. So I gather all my books. I decide on my curriculum, my personal art curriculum, what I want to study, what I want to learn. So this year, I really want to, or this semester, I guess you would say, I really want to learn how to paint big. So I actually got myself an easel that my son put together for me. So I don't have an excuse to paint big because I am not going to paint on my table. I'm going to be painting on this thing. And I got myself some extremely large for me paper. I got some big paper. There's 100, there's 100 of them, so I can make 100 mistakes and it'll be okay. And I also got like just some extra giant sheets so that it can sit right on top, and then I can do all of my work. And then I don't have an excuse to, you know, to paint because I've already invested some thoughts and actually bought myself things so that I can really, really just practice and try. And, you know, I was thinking in school, when you're learning math or you're learning English, there's a lot of practice that you have to do. So the same with art, to me, there's a lot of practice that needs to be involved, which means there's going to be a lot of mistakes. There's going to be a lot of stuff that doesn't look great. I was, my mom is here visiting from the Philippines, and she was watching me paint the other day, and I had the music on really, really loud, and I was painting something. I'm like, oh, this is going to look amazing. This is for my mom. My mom's here, you know, and then I'll show you. I was just like, what is that? Like, oh boy. I was so embarrassed. I was just like, Mom, so the boys are going to be home in like 15 minutes. I guess I'll stop now. But anyway, that's just going to happen. And I figured I'll just get it out of me, put it on the page, and then we'll see. Hopefully the next one will be fine. But yeah, so if you would take a second and just kind of think, what is it that you want to learn September, October, November, December? Just think of it like as a semester. What do you want to experiment with? What is it that you're trying to, like, speaking to you, within you, that you want to get out? Maybe you're like a portrait painter and you want to do nature. Or if you are a nature painter, maybe you're scared to do portraits. If you are a person that doesn't care, sketchbook, maybe a sketchbook or something. All right. Loretta said from shadow composition and nature. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, so type it in there. And it's almost like we are going to school together. We're all going to be, I'd like to create greeting cards instead of purchasing them. Oh, Sandra, that is a great goal. That is a great goal. I like that. Draw animals. I am scared to draw animals. I'm not even joking. For some reason, mine like comes out wonky. The eyes are in the wrong place. So when people ask me, do you paint portraits? I'm like, pet portraits? No, but I can draw ants. That's about the, is that a pet? That's not really a pet. That's not, is that an animal? I don't know if that's an abstract portrait. Nothing perfect. Yes, Leslie, absolutely. So just be thinking about that as we're going along. Let's see, I just heard about finished, unfinished art. Oh, I'd like to hear more about that, Peg. Abstract landscapes as well. Muriel said, I can't draw, but I want to learn to draw animals so I can paint them. Yes. There's so many different ways to draw things and learn, getting looser in whatever I paint. Absolutely. For me, to the getting looser part, what helps is music. So whatever music you have, maybe try turning it up and then just like going with the beat. And then like if it's a drum beat, just kind of make the marks the same way or something like that. That helps me. Also, I saw this crazy color, wonky line, urban sketching. Yes, urban sketching is great. I saw this one picture of Matisse where he has a pencil or like some kind of writing pencil and he's in bed and he's writing on his wall, which is like super far away. And I was just like, that is like a great way to get loose. You know what I mean? Like get yourself a really long brush and just kind of be far away and then you won't be able to control it. Wow, we are really getting some great ideas here. I'm so excited. Make my compass. Okay, I love painting flowers, but always very small. Same with me, Glenda. I want to learn to paint larger. Okay, so me and you, Glenda, we're gonna paint larger this semester. I want to use my pretty soft pastels, but they are so messy. Yes, soft pastels are messy. I'm still messing around with that to see what I can do. This is one that's done in soft pastel, but if you brush by it, it all goes away. So loose urban sketching or landscape, sketching and painting from everyday life. Wonderful, great. So you have your kind of curriculum, and those of you that have not shared, that's okay. Just be thinking and be mindful of what you think would be good for you to think about, to practice, and maybe focus on in September, October, maybe even in a month, and then we'll check back in and see how everybody's doing. All right. So we have with us, we're going to be talking about Van Gogh. Hopefully my camera works. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay. It's like weird, right? I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, maybe what I'll do is I will take, let's see. Is that better? Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna take a second and I'm going to, you're gonna see my face again here in a second. Not being afraid to create. Yes, absolutely. Okay. My second camera is having issues, so I feel like we've done this before, where the second camera just totally died, which is what's happening now. 1 second. There we go. Okay, now it's working. Awesome. All right. Thank you. And just seeing, as we're going along, if you think of anything, just go ahead and put it on the chat. I am going to be reading that later on. All right, Van Gogh sunflowers. For some reason, I know it's not sunflower. Is it sunflower season? It's kind of I still see sunflowers around maybe, but I don't know. This time of year, when it becomes fall in New York, all the colors are like starting to be the muted ochre and like starting to turn here where I am. And I'm always drawn to like the sunflowers. At this time around, I don't know why. Autumn colors, yes. I mean, there's just something about it. So I took my Van Gogh book out and I was reading a little bit about him because he is one of the artists that I want to dive deep into this semester. So I have a practice that I want to learn how to do, which is paint bigger. And then I have an artist that I really want to study, which is Van Gogh. So think about somebody who you want to study too. But I put down some books, or not some books, but some links. And on these links, you'll see this one website, which is the Van Gogh Museum, and it just had some amazing, amazing inspiration and like stories. So I encourage you to take some time and just read that. But as I was reading it, they said that one of the things that they mentioned was Van Gogh did many, many iterations of the same thing. So this is his sunflower painting, and he did it like 5 different times. So don't ever feel like your first time has to be the best. It could be like however many times you need to do it. Also, I threw in his sketch. Isn't that cool? I love that so much. I wish, okay, here, let me zoom. That is just so encouraging to me that even Van Gogh, like doing all these like fun sketches in a, I think it was done on just a piece of paper. So that's what we're going to start with. We're just going to take him as our inspiration, and we're going to use a pencil first. I normally don't do that, so do something like a colored pencil instead. Because I always feel like when we're actually working and you're really, not using pencil, you won't go back and erase. So I don't want you to go back and erase. Open a page in your sketchbook. And we are just going to do this really fast. We're going to do some fast sketches. We'll do it together. Want to get your mind working, your mind loose. Some of you mentioned you want to do that. Samantha put down organic landscapes, illustrating people, practicing art more consistently. Me too. All right, so we'll do that together. Okay, so I'm looking at what I have here. I think I'm going to use my red color pencil, and we're just going to do like, let me see what time it is. Let's do 2-minute sketches. All right, we'll do 2-minute sketches. We'll try to do 2. I love to do 3. I like to do things in odd numbers because I'm an odd person. But we will do things we'll do 2 for now. All right, and then later on we'll do 3. Or maybe you could do the 3rd on your own. That sounds like a good idea. All right, so what I have, use the color pencil, and then if you're done ahead of me and you want to grab your watercolors, you can use that. I have my handy dandy, well-loved old pastels with me here, and some pens, whatever you have. Painting with joy is just all about creating with whatever you have. So get whatever you have out. All right. I'm going to divide my page into 2. Okay. And then I'm going to take a second and just looking at Van Gogh's piece, kind of take it all in. And then we're going to start, all right? 2 minutes. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Of course, it doesn't work. Okay, and go. 2 minutes starting now. All right. I'm going to start in the middle here. The thing about 2 minutes is you don't have time to think. You just end up being loose because you just got to get the stuff down. Look at that. These don't even look like sunflowers on my book. This is the one that's kind of falling down. So where am I going to put the base? I'm just going to, oops. Let me look at my timer. Okay, we got 36 seconds, guys. and gals, ladies and gents, boys and girls, one and all. I don't know what I'm saying. It always goes fast and then I stress out, like, I gotta get everything down. Okay. 15 seconds. Oh, don't forget that table plane. All right, and stop. How did that feel? Hopefully that felt good, right? You're just getting stuff down right on the page. Does not have to look good. I mean, look at that. Far from what you did here, but you're kind of just getting the ideas down. One of the things as I'm studying this, I love all these little mark makings that he does, and these are done with oil paints, right? And his brushes, and I'm just like, wow. I think that's why I like the oil pastel, because it lends itself to these kinds of lines. But I guess deferring, like using different brushes will do the same thing. All right, let's get a different color. Let's see. I'm gonna use the blue. To get a different color, maybe even use like watercolor pencil if you want. Let's do 2 more minutes. All right, I'll give you a second to grab what you need. And then we will move on to page number 2. All right, here we go. You might want to shake your hands too. Sometimes when you're drawing, you get tight. You want to just shake them up, let loose. All right, 2 minutes again. Here, are you finding that, before we start, are you finding that 2 minutes is enough time, or 2 minutes is too long, or 2 minutes is too short? You know, these are great things to be thinking about, right? As you're drawing, you're like, okay, 2 minutes, maybe I could do it in 1. Jacqueline says it's perfect. Oh, great, 2 minutes is perfect for you. That's awesome. I find if I have 5 minutes, it's too long. I like get bogged down and I'm like, ugh, too much. So 2 minutes is a good jumping off point for me, but you have to experiment and see what works for you. All right, here we go, 2 minutes and begin. Okay, so before I start in the middle, this time I'm gonna start at the base. Don't know why, but that's where my mind went. I love too how he has all these like values within the painting. That's another thing I want to really dive deep into this semester, is like really learning values, because it's super, super important when it comes to making art. Giant piece over here. It's almost looking like an eyeball that's kind of in the back there. Sometimes when I don't know what I'm painting or I don't know what to do, I just do warm-up sketches. And that counts as a daily practice. So if you're doing a daily practice and you just want to do a warm-up sketch, just do that. When we're painting together in the next couple minutes, I'd like to just remind you of, like, take a look at this blue with the yellow. Wow. Let's add that to our work. We got the sunflower with our stems. I keep forgetting the stems. Okay, that was 2 minutes. Drop your pencil. I feel like a teacher from back in the day. All right, how does yours look compared to each other? Mine looks kind of similar here on the page. But that's okay. So that means like I'm getting comfortable with doing all of them, I guess, or trying to anyway. I want to take a second and I'd like to see if you would like to share. Just fold your paper up. I'm gonna move my spotlight. If you want to share, love doing this. Wow. Ooh, Margaret added color. Great. You had time to watercolor, Margaret? That's amazing. All right, some of you did some sketches there. Great. All right. Ooh, Elizabeth. Values are so important, okay? Some of you did in pencil, great. Let's see here. Yes, awesome. So it's so amazing to me how, it's so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. It's so amazing to me how all of us like come together and we paint and then it's all different. You know what I mean? Because it's coming through your artist's hand. We're not trying to be Van Gogh. We're not trying to copy what he's doing, but we're kind of like trying to learn from him, which I think is just great. All right. So now that you kind of have your, sorry about my dog. Okay. So what I'd like to do is I usually work in a sketchbook like I have here. And if I draw on one side, I tend to draw on the right side for some reason. I always end up drawing on the other side or like doing my work on the other side. So if you want to look at your sketch, you can either rip the page, which, you know, don't rip it, or rip it, whatever you want to do. Or, you know, and then just work on the opposite side. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of look at my work and say, you know what, I really liked how I did those really loose marks. So I'm going to remember to do that. Just going to get situated here. All right, so we're going to get painting. I am going to start with watercolor.
But Zoom keeps dying on me and I don't know why. Okay, everybody, can you hear me? Okay, we're back. Okay. I may have thrown an expletive there. Me, I'm sorry. Okay. There are no children in the room, so I may have said a word that was naughty because I could not get Zoom to work it. So I just want to. Okay. Anyway, is it working? Okay, good. Oh, I am so sorry. Zoom keeps dying on me, but whatever. We'll make it work. All right. So I'm gonna start with watercolor, and then we'll see where it goes. Because normally my go-to, I'm trying to switch it up, would be to just my go-to would be just sketch it first. But this time around, I'm just gonna go for it. What a crazy day. Is it a full moon outside? Is that why my technology is dying on me? I don't even know. I'm using a round brush.
No full moon.
No full, it's just my
You
luck.
sound double. Like everything you say, I hear twice.
Okay, hang on a second.
A little echo.
Yep. Echo.
Is that better? Or is it still echo? It's better? No, yes?
Yes, it's better.
Okay, good. I'm so sorry. Everything that I own seems to be dying right now, meaning like my mic stopped working, my webcam stopped working, the sound on my phone stopped working. So I'm just glad that you can hear me. But there's no echo? Okay, good.
No,
all right.
You sound fine now.
You guys are the best. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna grab some of this yellow and I am just going to get it on the page. Let's just get it on the page. One of those days. I feel like that's what happens with every painting with joy. Like something crazy happens and then who knows where we go from there. I'm doing this bright, this one right here, this one sunflower. I don't know if any of you listen to Beyonce. She has this one song called You Won't Break My Soul or Break My Soul. And I was playing that before and dancing around here before we recorded. And it was just like, you won't break my soul. And man, technology, you're not going to break my soul. We're just going to keep going. And it doesn't matter. We're going to have a good time. Because technology has a way of not working sometimes, and I don't know. Okay, I'm just putting a bunch of yellow blobs down, kind of as a map. I'm not doing all the flowers. I'm just doing some of them. And this is the one that's kind of drippy at the bottom that I like. I also love this like really lush green. Move my stuff around. Lush green. I guess I can't tell because I'm not a gardener. My father-in-law is, but some of you may be. Is this about to bloom, the sunflower, or is it already done blooming? Do you know what I mean? Like some of them look like they're blooming and then some of them are like done. So I'm not sure. So if you know, like right here, did all the little things come out or is this just about to bloom?
The leaves that are close to the flower, if they're green, and the flower is closed, then it's about to bloom. But if they're like wilted, then obviously.
Yeah, it'll be like kind of brownish. Okay.
Yes.
Thank
Also,
you.
also the petals would fall off, and like the three middle ones that you see that have barely any petals.
Yep.
It's like almost running out of time.
Okay. Thank you so much. Was that Sarah was that you, Sarah?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, Sarah.
Sure.
How are you?
Welcome.
Thank you so much. All right. So that's my rendition of this green thing, which I will fix in a little bit. I am just adding some more kind of blobs first. Okay, so that's mine. I'm just going to give it a second. I kind of like this one flower that's kind of facing down. So I'm going to put the middle first. So as you can see, my mind is just jumping everywhere. I use different things and I just go from one to the other, not really concentrating on one piece. I'm kind of making my way around. So this one, I'm just adding all of the little petals now. Just kind of gently laying my, I'm really just gently laying my brush down and then pushing and pulling. So starting in the middle, pushing, kind of going out. Adding some green in the back, just because, and of course this green is not the same green as Van Gogh has, but why would it be the same? We're making our own. Now jumping back to that one lead looking thing and adding. Okay, so now that I kind of have what I'm doing, I am going to slowly start focusing in and maybe adding some green. I love to add green. I don't know, for me, it kind of ties everything down. It makes everything grounded. So I'm going to add that. Not necessarily the same green, but make it your own green. So the cool thing about watercolor, or not watercolor, but oil pastel and colored pencil, and even markers, if you have markers, they just go right on top of the watercolor. So when you're doing a piece like this, I always end up making a mixed media piece because that's what I gravitate towards. So I'm adding some of these kind of loose lines towards the middle of the sunflower. I'm just, like I said, there's no major plans. I'm just enjoying the process here. And if you really look at the photo, the painting that he has, it's like the brushwork is almost like short lines, like short little brushwork, and then he'll have some that are really long and detailed. Sometimes there's even like, in this one, there's like a red mark. It's a red. So maybe I'll remember to add that. This one that has the peaking green, it has a lot of those little dots, or like stippling marks. So you might want to change brushes. I'm going to keep the brush that I have. Just go all the way around. This one is a little too dark of a brown, but that's okay. If you have tissue nearby, I don't. So I will probably end up using my shirt to clear some of this out. But if you have tissue nearby, I should have tissue nearby, but I don't. Get that out if you need to, so you can clear some runny things if you're using watercolor. This is the one that's kind of facing this way. Sometimes my angles are off. Oh, that's another thing somebody said they wanted to learn, is like the perspective, which is great. Perspective is definitely something important. I'm gonna use my shirt. I don't know if that helps. Sometimes I don't have a blotting tool. I have a scrunchie. I'll use my scrunchie. All right. Scrunchie is like that hair tie made out of cloth. It works great. Just a check-in. Is everybody doing okay? I hope so. Ooh, I like the way that my yellow is still wet. So when I put the brown on top, I thought it was dry already, but it's not. But it's now spreading, which I like. And then I will blot it a little so it stops to spread. And then I'm going to take and draw all those lines. Just the petals of the sunflower. Okay. And then now I'm going to add the base, which is kind of like a really pale yellow. So maybe I'll take some of my yellow. As you can see, when I'm painting, I just use the same palette. I don't mix on another thing. But if you're not into that, don't do what I'm doing. I have, like I said, two boys, and it felt like they're not little anymore. One is 11 and one is 13. But because I got so used to painting fast when they're toddlers, that I don't even mix. I just go use what I have, kind of dip from one, go to the other, just to save time so that I don't have to mix any colors, which I'm sure is not, some people would not like, but it's just how I do it. Okay, my base is starting to come together. While that's going, I am going to cover this up in blue. So if you have a blue, like a light blue, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but if you have a big brush, that'd be great. So you can get a lot of,
It looks like white on blue, like white on dark
Yep.
blue.
you mean the Van Gogh?
Yeah, like
Yes.
the layers.
Yep, yes, there's definitely layers, but right now I'm just gonna do my my light blue. I think this is Horizon Blue. I just absolutely love this color. By the way, if you have any questions, please either shout them out or put it in the chat. Like if you're wondering, Joy, what color is that? I will try to tell you what it is. I don't 100% know. Or Joy, what brush is that? Which is a Princeton 8. Just type it in or just unmute and ask me. I would welcome any questions. So I'm just loosely putting a layer of blue down, which I kind of like that it's so watery. I'm liking that look. I'm really waiting for this to kind of dry. So as that's drying, I'm, like I said, jumping around. Now I'm going to take my color pencil, I think. Do I want to use color pencil? See, sometimes I'm just like not sure. I think I'm going to use a watercolor pencil. And how I use my watercolor pencil is I just dip right into my water. Just the pencil into the water, and then I just use that. And here's my base, which this is kind of brownish. If you read that, take some time and read on that website, they're trying to restore some of these pieces because the colors are fading or changing. Van Gogh's painting. So what we're looking at may actually not even be the color that it was. Okay, Muriel has a question. What kind of sketch pad are you using? And you can do watercolor painting on the paper without the paper getting messed up. Okay, so this is a mixed media sketchbook, and it's not a expensive sketchbook at all. It's one of the cheapest ones. And I think it was like for $25 on Amazon. You could get two. It comes in two. It's a 2-pack. It's a 2-pack of watercolors that I had my husband stitch together for me. See? So I don't recommend it though, because it's heavy. It's heavy to carry. But yeah, it's just a mixed media sketchbook. The watercolor, it's watercolor, no, it's mixed media paper, so it won't mess it up. It's not like the most expensive paper, so sometimes it'll buckle, but since it's heavy, you can close it. You're welcome, Mario. I hope I'm saying your name right. All right, so that's my first pass with the watercolors. Now I'm going to take my oil pastel, and now I'm going to kind of focus. So as I'm looking at this, I'm going to take my brown, and these oil pastels are hard, the Pentel ones, which I like for the first layer because I don't know why. They're not super bright, but I really like how hard they are. And then I'll throw in a different kind of oil pastel in a minute, just because I like how that one is soft, the difference between the two. Okay, let's see. This has like a reddish tint in the middle, so maybe I'll do this one. I don't really know what colors I'm picking up. I just kind of look at my palette and then go, oh, that looks close enough. That's close enough. I'll use that. Okay, just throwing in some random leaves here. Remember, this does not have to be Van Gogh. Exactly, it could just be Van, whatever you name it. I have pastels, but not oil. Sandra, that's fine. You can get those out. I have pastels too that are soft pastels. You can use those too. They might just be a little messy. If you want to, you can get your markers out. That would be great to use. Really, when you're painting with joy, it's like using every tool you have. It's kitchen sink art where everything is like, where you use everything, which is just how I would. So whatever you have, use whatever you have. Oh, Sandra, I'm glad you're having so much fun. It is fun. I really do enjoy, and it's great to be painting with others. After a long day, maybe you had work, or with the kids, or just like some of you that are from other countries that have stayed up. Thank you very much. Maybe you have just had a long day of course, and you just want to paint with others. This has just been, I absolutely love it. I'm adding those pastel-y weird lines that he has. And really, I'm just pushing down with my oil pastel and making weird marks. Weird, but like, okay, so Beth says, I'm over in Australia having a great fun with you too. It's early Thursday over here. Well, good morning to you. Yeah, my mom's from the Philippines, so it's normally morning where she's at. And, but yeah, she's visiting us, which has been amazing since we have not seen her for a couple of years due to the pandemic. So I'm glad to be able to come and visit. I'm looking at this and I really love this dark piece right here. So I'm gonna add that. And then he has a lot of like little lines. So instead of going through adding little lines, I'm just gonna use my color pencil and I'm gonna scribble. See? Just a bunch of scribbles. Just to give it that look. So it doesn't even have to look like this. Just scribble it up if you want to. That's what I'm doing. Taking a different kind of oil pastel, which these are some people, when you buy these, there's two different names for them. I just type in gallery oil pastel and they normally show up. But sometimes they're called Mongio, and then sometimes a different name. So if you type gallery, they should show up. They're not super expensive. They're buttery soft, and they're fun to use just for playing around. I'm an advocate with, you know, not buying expensive things to play around with. Just taking different oil pastels, kind of mimicking his line work here. Yeah, Sharon Brown says, I love those Mongio Gallery oil pastels. I hope I'm saying them right, but they are great for the price. I think this one came as a, oh man, 48 of them, and they have lasted me so long. I have very expensive Sennelier, I hope I'm saying that right, oil pastels, and unfortunately I'm too scared to use them because they're so expensive. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I get intimidated by using it. So when I'm putting it on the page, I'm like, oh boy, this is too expensive. I should not just be messing around. That's probably not the right attitude, of course, but just being honest. Okay, Sharon says they're too soft. They are soft. I'm finding that I need to play around with them. Maybe I'll add that to my personal curriculum this year. You can come in, Mom. My mom's out in the office, just kind of with the door shut. So I'm telling her she can come in if she wants to. Okay, Mary says they're the only one she has, so it helps get over the questions. You're right. Maybe I need to put these other ones away for a little bit, so then I'm just like forced to use what I have. Carol, I bought a $300 set and haven't opened them in over a year. That sounds like me. I open mine once a year, and I look at them, and I say, wow, these are great. I really need to use them. And then I put them back on the shelf. I don't know why. I need to just try it. Tell myself it's okay to use my expensive art supplies because they will end up in the yard sale after you pass away. That's true. You never know. Or maybe, yeah, and if you do, they do end up selling somewhere. Somebody might end up using them and making something beautiful with them too. But I think you should just use them. Yeah, Carol says just use them. Right? Doesn't matter. So now I'm just going through making these, trying out these marks with my oil pastel sideways. And I don't love that too much, but that's okay. I might switch it up because it looks like he did. The cool thing about Van Gogh is, look, you can see how he did it one way and then he's like, I don't know, do I like that? I'll do it a different way. So that's what I'm doing. Do I like that? I don't know. Isaac Simon says, I use Talon oil pastel, very friendly, soft, and blending. I love it. Ooh, thank you. I might have to look for those. I am always, I don't know if any of you do this, but when I have a project that I have to do, I am a wonderful procrastinator. I will go online shopping. I'll buy art supplies. I'll go look for books. I'll do everything except for what I'm supposed to be doing. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll look for oil pastels. It is scary to use the good stuff, but I feel like if you don't use the good stuff, especially like with paper, Arches paper is expensive, but I feel like you should try them because if not, I don't know, it revolutionizes your painting if you use the good stuff. So maybe this semester we'll try the good stuff too. Not only will you do certain things, try things and make mistakes, we will also use good stuff. Because why not? That is a valid question, Carol. Carol says, I worry that the oil pastels will rub off. It will rub off. So what I normally do is I just, like this piece of paper, I'll just tape it on here and then shut my page. You know what I mean? Or you could use a different, I don't know, you could use a different page or like wax paper. People do that. All right, Mary Larson said, I have a really hard time using my precious sketchbooks. I know, I think that's why I tend to buy like the cheaper sketchbooks just to get my ideas down. And then I transfer them. But then by that time, I'm like, do I want to transfer them? So these are thoughts that you really, it's great to write down on your sketchbook and make notes of like your deep thoughts about these art supplies, because it is true. It will, you know, it will help you decide what you like, what you don't like. Can you spray them? I'm sure you could spray them. Definitely you could spray them. I had purchased myself a fixative last year or maybe 2 years ago, but I have not sprayed them because the thought of carrying everything outside and spraying them, I'm too lazy. But yes, you can definitely do them. And somebody said, Tao says, good supplies make the results better. Absolutely right. They do make the results better. So try, I say in the sketchbook, try it. Try good supplies. Try supplies that you're scared of. Maybe this year will be brave and just go for the expensive things. And just try it, because you might find something you absolutely love. Oh, it is 6:56. Oh my, time has flown by. Some people have got to go. If you have to leave, that's fine. I'm going to add a little bit more to mine. If you want to stay with me for a little bit longer, please do. I get to talking and then I don't know. I forget what I'm doing. I'm just adding lines with, this is a color pencil. Okay. So I'm just defining now the different color pencil lines. And then later, I'll probably go through and add, I'll do it now. No time like the present. Okay, I'm gonna use a watercolor marker. You're welcome, Carol. Have a great day. Or night, whichever, or sleep, whichever, wherever you are. I'm just gonna go through and see how cool this watercolor pencil goes on top of oil pastel. It is a Pro Marker by Winsor Newton. This might be a good splurge for you. Like if you want me to come up with a Christmas list that you could just give to your friends and family, I will happily do that for you. You just give them that and then say, this is what I want for Christmas. Because these are just great. I love them. Also, the cool thing about them is you can reactivate them. So I made marks right there. And then you can leave them not activated, or you can wet them and they'll move around. So if you have extra, you're looking for something fun to use, these are great. Both sides are, the brush side is so fun because it could go really, really thin and then really, really fat and juicy. Thin, fat and juicy, thin. And then you have the other side, which is just kind of like a stiff for making some marks. So yeah, we didn't have Painting with Joy last month because my kids and I, my family and I, we took a a 2-week camping road trip. And I have so many pictures that I was trying to use now as my jumping off point for landscape painting. So try to do that before the weather changes, if weather's changed on your side. Oh, I added orange and I like it. See, try to add something that you normally wouldn't like. My mom's laughing at me because I just get all excited. Adding some green. All right, so that is my rendition of Matisse. No, Van Gogh. That's who we're talking about. Van Gogh. I gave you another piece to practice with if you want. That's totally optional. I figured I'd like to give homework. That's just, like I said, the teacher in me. I think about curriculums, I think about books to study, and then exercises, and then extra homework. So if you want to do homework, that's there for you. And this is what I have come up with. It does not look like the masters, but it's great.
Hi everyone! I wanted to hop back on here and tell you a little bit more about Painting with Joy. Painting with Joy is a monthly paint hangout time where we gather together. I'll give you the photo ahead of time or reference topic and ideas. And then we'll gather together right now via Zoom and we will talk. You can ask me questions. We'll show each other your work. And it's just a time to just relax, just chill, hang out, and create some art together. So information about Painting with Joy will be in the description below. And yeah, definitely check it out and register if you haven't already. Hope to see you there.